There are some things as a lady or a girl trying to look elegant and classy you need to avoid, you need to stay away from. Based on that, today we'll be talking about 5 types of shoes as a lady you need to avoid. I mean the types of shoes you need to say no to them when building your collection. Without further ado, let's get into the video. Hello beauties, welcome back to my channel. As you know, this channel is centered on girls talk, elegance, fashion, relationship, in fact everything womanhood and everything ladylike. So the first shoe we are going to talk about today are platforms. Like I mean anything platform, be it pumps, be it strappy heels, be it boots. Yes, anything platform is not elegant, it's not classy. You need to avoid them and take them out of your closet if you have any in them, or do not even invest in them if you do not have any. Platforms make your leg look bulky. They attract the attention from your whole outfit to your feet, which is not what we are going for. As I said in my previous video where I mentioned the types of shoes as a lady you must have, if you've not watched it, go and watch it. And above all, they give that kind of exotic dancer vibe because those were the people that it was made for. They elongate the leg too much to the point they kind of look like an exotic dancer, and that's not a classy and elegant look. So keeping them out of your closet will do a lot of good for you. Some people will be like, for we the short people, I'll advise you, if you are short, there are accessories that you can add to your shoe collection to boost you. Whether you are short, you are tall, or you are into platforms, I will advise you, when you are trying to dress classy and elegantly and look up there, look bougie, then I will advise you cancel platforms out of your shoe collection. Second shoe we are going to talk about are straw wedges. Personally, I'm not a fan of wedge, but straw wedges are very off-putting. I don't see the classiness in them. I don't see how they help to elevate an outfit. I just see them that like they are comfortable, yes, and people like to wear them because of that comfortability. But I don't think that most people wear straw wedges because of the classiness they add, because I don't see the classy or the leveling up they do for your outfit. Another reason why I do not fancy straw wedges is because immediately the straw begins to pull out, which it happens often if you wear them. They begin to look very tacky and old, which is not elegant and not fashionable at all. So as a young lady coming up, if you are still interested in wedges, I would advise you to go for wedges that have wooden wedge. That is, the wedge is made out of wood. Those ones are elegant, more put together and finished, especially when the wedge is colored and not in its brown or wooden state. The third type of shoe we are going to talk about are overly embellished shoes. Overly embellished shoes are not nice, they are not classy, and most at times they can have the glue covering the stones or the embellishments, which makes it look very cheap and not classy enough. So as a lady coming up, I'll advise you, when you are buying a shoe, even though we all like the blinks and the clinks of a shoe, I would advise you that maintain the blings to a minimum level, because the more the embellishments, the more cheaper it looks, especially when the stones have the ability of fading. You wear them for a few occasions and they begin to fade, making the shoe look very cheap, very old, which is not nice, because you are trying to build a closet where in a year or two you can still pull out a shoe from your collection and wear it and it will still look neat and put together. So I will advise you, make sure that the stones or the embellishments, one, they do not fade, and two, they are not covered in glue, and three, they are not plenty, because when they are plenty then it means it won't keep long, the stones will begin to fall out, and when you lose a few of the stones, the shoe is no longer wearable, which is equal to waste of money. Yeah, so I will advise you that do not go for overly embellished shoes. Make sure your shoe is always simple and nice. Elegance and class is equal to simplicity. The fourth shoe we are going to talk about are those beaded bathroom slippers. Should I say in a Ghanaian sense, beaded chalewote. They are not elegant, they are not nice. I don't see why we fell into the craze of it around 2016, 2015. Personally, I had a pink one and I was rocking it through town, painting the whole town all pink, thinking I was on top. Now I realize they are not classy, they are not elegant, they are cheap, because it's a beaded bathroom slippers, so it's meant for the bathroom. I don't see why we're trying to make them outing slippers by hook or by crook, because they are not elegant. So I would advise you, if you want a slippers, invest in a good leather slippers, because there are these type of leather slippers with beads on it that are done very nicely and classily, that you can use them to replace this beaded chalewote. And another thing, wearing too much rubber shoes leads to crack on your heels, especially when you are somebody with a dry skin and you do not go for your pedicures very often. Then I will advise you to stay away from like rubber slippers and rubber shoes and rubber sandals, because they make your heels become very dry, which cracks it eventually. Yeah, so I will advise you to, one, stay away from them because they are not classy. Two, they look very cheap. That is it, they look very cheap. Yeah, even with the beads, we are trying to make it work, but it's not working. I'll tell you, it is not working. It's not giving what it's supposed to give. So let's cross that out. The fifth shoe we are going to talk about are monochrome sneakers. Monochrome sneakers are nice, but I wouldn't say they are classy or elegant as they are supposed to be. They are very nice, I'll give it that, but they are not classy and they are not very elegant. I think people who buy things because of the designer brand name all over it shows that it's more classy, but it looks kind of cheap, like you are trying to show off too much that you have the money. And here in our part of the world, it doesn't make sense, because we know that most of the monochrome sneakers around are fake, what others call banku. So you rocking them up and down doesn't make it look like you have money. Apart from that, most of the people who buy it do not know how to dress them. Like, apart from these brown ones, there are like a few monochrome sneakers that like you can buy. There are like all plain white ones that you can buy, because the monochrome are hidden within the white, which you can buy to elevate your look. But with these brown ones and the colored ones, the pink, the blue and the purple, if you do not know how to style them, like, they will trash your outfit. They will bring the outfits down from like 100 to a 0. So I would advise you, when it comes to monochrome sneakers, if you are really into them, find the ones with plain and neutral colors, because they will help you to look more upgraded. And also, if you do not know how to dress yourself or dress with it, then leave them out of your closet. I know some of you will give me heat for saying this, but like, it's not working. Most of the people I see rocking them are not giving what they are supposed to give, and it's not making the niceness of it to show, which makes it look very cheap. And to look classy is not about buying like big brands, wearing big brands. It's all about how you dress yourself, how you put the outfits together for it to be complete. There are certain times that the outfit needs minimalization. Like, all that I'll tell you, elegance and class is equal to simplicity. It's not about showing off, going overboard to the extent that some people, when they dress, it looks like a costume. No, it's about looking more put together and leveling up your look, but doing the least and not doing the most. You know, these are the 5 types of shoes as a lady you must avoid. I'll go over them again. The first one is platform. Second one is straw wedges. The third being overly embellished shoes. The fourth being beaded slippers. And the last one are monochrome sneakers. That'll be all for today. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel. I am Mushia. Adios.